Yo, what's up everybody? Nice with you here, bringing you Black Clover anime review. This is episode 97, titled The Overwhelming Disadvantage, and this was one heck of a exciting but build-up episode as well. We get to the conclusion of Yami versus Charlotte, and basically Charlotte won. She kind of pushed Yami into like a building, and all the rubber fell on him, and he was knocked out. But in her perspective, he was dead. And he was defending the town, so she's like, I wasted too much energy dealing with this guy. He's a lot stronger than I thought he was. I guess we elves underestimated them. We're gonna have to be careful. And she, flies off with her little tree things, or rose things, and as that's going on, her lieutenant Soul comes back, and she's like, "What's that explosion over there?" So she runs back after she hides the body of the Wizard King, even though she doesn't know what's in that blackness, because Yami never told her. He just said protect it because it's something important. So she goes back and she's looking for Yami, and he comes up the rubble, waving his sword, saying, "Why are you shouting? How dare you not finish me off, you dumb witch?" And he's like, "I still got energy to go." And Saul was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "What are you doing here? And what happened to the gift that I told you to protect?" She's like, "Oh, don't worry, I hid it well." He's like, "Oh, you better, because that's very important." She was like, "Well, you better keep your promise." And he was like, "Who do you think you're talking to? Of course I'm going to keep my promise." Then he tells her to run off and go save some people because he has something planned to do. Even though in reality, we know he doesn't have anything planned to do. He just uses that as an excuse. But as this is all going on, two people got freed from their jail cell thanks to, because we found out there's more elves in the city reincarnated. And the jail cell got broken open and two prisoners came out. One is the old captain of the Purple Orcish, the guy with the mask, which his name's always escaped me. And the other guy, I believe his name is Vanadish, the chain dude, the guy from episode 1, the main enemy, the one who could steal you with his chain magic. Well, they both got released. And we found out, thanks to their dialogues towards each other, is that the captain of the Purple Orca, former captain, he technically betrayed him in the past because he was part of his squad, and he messed up on a mission, so he put the blame on him. So he got in trouble for it. Ravish, the guy with the chain magic, so he always held that grudge against them. And basically, it's funny because they both holding a grudge against the same thing, and it sounded like they was holding a grudge against each other. But in the end, as they walk up to each other and they grip each other up, they was like, "Thanks, this is all happening thanks to that stupid anti-magic brat kid." And they both said it at the same time, and they realized, wait a minute, you too? He was like, "You too?" He was like, yeah. And they started talking. And from being hostile to each other, they acted kind of more like friendly towards each other now because they have like a gold, just to pay back Asta, who defeated them both. Because his magic is the only magic that can really capitalize on them. Because, they both got Hack's magic. So, but as they talk and the elf comes down, and he was like, "We're going to eliminate all humans." And he was like, "Yo, wait up. I'm the former captain of the Purple Orca. I used to have dealings with your leader. Let me speak to him." He was like, "This is not the time for negotiations." And he summoned like these 4 water pillars full of spikes, and he shot them at them. But they used their magic combined, and they became invisible and transparent. And in that mode, they're immune to magic, so the magic just went through them. And in his perspective, the elf, he was like, "Oh, they must have ran off." But in reality, they were just hiding there in plain sight the whole time. He just couldn't see them. And the chain dude put him in chain, and then they just knocked them out and they left. They KO him easily. And he was a very strong elf at that. But then on the other hand, both their magic are hacks. And if you combine them together, his transparent magic and his chain magic is a very deadly combo. Only way to really outbeat that is to be anti-magic like Asta, or to be as fast as Julius. But other than that, it's like these two together, they can beat mostly anybody if it's 2 against 1. Especially with what their magic is, or even in a group battle, they could probably still win because how deadly their magic are, especially combined. But as they walk off, we get to switch over back to Noel and Mimosa's cousin. I forgot his name. His name escaped me. I can't stand the guy, the pretty boy as I call him. And they shocked because Luck and the other guy, the guy from that Noel beat in the games, are there, and they both elves. And they hug each other like, it's a long time, brother. And he's like, well, I'm pumping with a lot of energy right now. Let me eliminate these threats. Or these, he don't say that, let me eliminate these, I think, royals or pains or something like that. It was basically a mockery. And Luck actually does attack Noelle. And the attack would have killed her, but he just scrapes her and he misses. And he's like, oh, it's been so long since I used my magic, I forgot. Let me try again. But Mimosa's cousin came in clutch, and he actually was useful. And he used the cherry blossoms to block their view. And he was telling Noelle, we have to put our heads in the game. These guys are not enemies because of how they are acting. We don't know what's going on, but we have to defend ourselves. But Mimosa's cousin, even though he was making sense in what he was saying, and excuse me, my pamphlet just blew off, but even though he made sense of what he was saying, Noelle was so in shock that she really couldn't do much, and she was like, she just put up a water dragon barrier around her. But Luck's magic is too insane, and he ripped that apart in an instant. And as they're fighting, and they're trying to like hold back Luck, and let me remind you, it's 2 against 1, and Luck is not even going full power, and the other guy is just watching. So imagine if they both was going full power and helping each other out, taking these guys out. They would take them out easily, even though Luck by himself, with or without his elf powers, can probably do that anyway. But that's a whole nother discussion for later on. But then we get the end of the episode, which is Asta being told by Rhaegar, since I lie too much, I can tell when other people are lying, and what you said earlier was not no lie. You were saying the truth. But then in his head, he continued the conversation. He was like, just like that person back then. But because I trusted him, we all died. That's a mistake I would never do again, and I'm going to eliminate you. And we find out that he just doesn't have more magical powers now like all the other elves. We find out he can use 2 magics now at the same time from his copybook. So he was using the space portal magic that he copied from Retos, and he was using light magic and dark magic from Yami and Lich. So he was mixing things up, and it was just a heck of a battle. And like they really couldn't catch him, but at the same time it was like they had to dodge his moves. And Mera Lugonia, she got tagged once. It was like a graze in her shoulder. Asta, same thing, a graze on his foot. Zora, he was actually able to dodge the attacks completely. As we've seen so far, he has no scars on him at all. So, and as this battle is going on, somebody breaks through the roof, and it's Veil, which they call Liva, and that's his elf name. And he's so happy to see Rhaegar, and he's hugging him and crying and everything. And Asta was like, yo, that's the enemy. What are you doing? Blah, 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 all this other stuff, etc., etc. And Lara just looks at him and was like, yo, you loud, who are you? He's like, we're friends, remember? He's like, I have no human friends. And Asta was like, hurt by that. You can tell, and he was shocked. And Zora brought up this great deal that we're going to have to retreat. Because as they fighting these 2 people, 3 more elves came down. Angel, Veil's lieutenant, the chick with the blue hair, with the ice magic, and somebody else came down. And he was like, look, it's 5 against 3, and their magic are insanely level. We can't handle them. We're going to have to retreat. And Mera Lugonia was like, okay, bet. And she broke the wall behind her, and she sent both of them flying. And she's like, y'all brats retreat. I got this. And she just crumbled the wall so no one could follow, and they can't come back. And Rhaegar was like, oh, how sweet of you, royalty lady, to let them escape while you come here and stall us so we won't catch up to them. And I love her reaction. Her comeback was, no, I'm not going to stall. I want to kill you all, but they're going to be in my way. And I'm like, I love Mera Lugonia. Best girl, best lady, best woman, hands down, of Black Clover. But as that ends, we get something very interesting happen in the end before we get the credit scenes. We get a special scene with Fergal Lugonia. He's in his bedroom, of course, unconscious because he's in his coma. But we see his fingers kind of like moving, like he's like starting to like wake up, I guess, or like a sign, I guess, of life. So I wouldn't be surprised if like another episode or 2, maybe 3, he'll get up. So that's going to be very interesting when that happens, because he was one of the strongest captains there. Even though, yeah, he lost his arm to Lynch, but we don't know how that battle went down. So, and Lynch himself is no slouch, or Petrie, which we found out his real name, is no, slouch. So, but that was the end of the episode. Very great episode, great stuff. Can't wait for Golian to come back. Can't wait for Mera Lugonia. Can't wait for her to start laying hands on people. I wonder what Asta and Zora's plans are gonna be. I mean, I think they're not just gonna run away. They're gonna have to come up with something to counteract this. I wonder what Yami's plan is, because we saw him looking in the distance. Is he gonna try to like have a part 2 round with Charlotte, or he didn't have something else planned? I'm not sure about that. For those who stood after the anime ended, we seen the preview for next week. It's gonna be based off of the Crimson Lions, mainly Leo. We're gonna see some growth of him, so that's interesting. I'm very looking forward to that. I actually like Leo. He's actually one of my top 5 favorite characters in the series, so I'm very happy to look forward to that. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Let me know what you're looking forward to and what you didn't like and liked about the episode. Again, it's studio period, so the animation and pacing is not the greatest, sadly. If it was done by Madhouse or Bones, we probably would have had a better anime version of Black Clover, but it is what it is. So we're gonna have to be grateful that at least we got something. At least it's not as bad as Tokyo Ghoul or Naruto, so. And hopefully they keep this pace up. They don't make it any worse than what it is, or they don't add or take away too much. But yeah, the episode was great overall, but that's all I have for you. Peace out and have a good one.